Welcome to the Winspreneur show. As always, we have somebody who is brilliant with us today. But when I asked her, what do I introduce you as, Aditi? And she says, wait, let me just count. Hey, I have done just about everything. Today, I'm a brand strategist. I am an image consultant. I've taken part in fashion shows and won at international level. I've raced a Formula 4 car, and I was like, oh my God, now what do I introduce Aditi Gupta as? So, guys, we'll figure it out together. But before that, let me welcome the vivacious, the beautiful, the smart, the stunning Aditi Gupta. Welcome, Aditi, to the Winspreneur Show.
Thank you so much, Garo. It's pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to our conversation. And I hope our audience enjoys it as well. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. We are a small channel, so the audience will be small, Aditi. We're very sorry for that. But anybody who's watching will really appreciate that you taking time out and sharing your insights and your life story with us. So Aditi, I'll jump right to it. How did Aditi Gupta, come to be where she is today? What's the story behind Aditi?
Very interesting, right? So I will start from my childhood because it's something that has always uh, cherished, has developed me as a person, and without that foundation, I don't think so. I would be where I am right now. So there's a lot of contribution that my parents, grandparents, and my family has given to who I am today. So I come from a very, you can say, a very middle class Maharashtrian family.
Hmm.
Both of parents were working. My dad was a cricketer, and he was also known in Mumbai, and he had like huge network of friends, and I always admired that part. My mom being the career woman, she has developed me and inspired me quite a lot for who I am as a woman today, because working, managing family at that point of time when you did not had any help or anything, and staying with in-laws, which is always challenging, all of that, plus managing two extremely naughty kids, like all the time energetic, and I have a sibling, I have elder brother.
Hmm.
So I really praise her for the way she has managed both of us at that point of time because of what
But
now I realize.
it was a potent combination of a cricketer
Yes,
and a career woman. So
yes.
it's yeah, so wonderful. Okay,
So,
and then
and plus, because my granddad had a huge family, like almost nine siblings, and my always family would be like full house. It would be like a full house, Ekta Kapoor kind of a show sometimes during festivals and all. But we enjoy that part. Like that allowed me, um, at that point of time where today children are not very, we are staying in a nuclear family, or we are apart and we are different cities or different locations.
mm,
That time of my childhood has been the most precious time, because I got to know more about family culture. And two things that were very important for my family were, one is family bonding and culture, definitely. And second is discipline and education. So everyone, like even my grandmom, granddad, they were very well educated. And that was one of the key things that was installed in our mind, that without education, whether it's a boy or a girl, doesn't matter, but the education has to have a substantial and significant role in building you as a human.
wonderful. I mean, and the second word you use, discipline. I mean, I keep talking about this so often that, hey, we can be whoever we want, but the foundation of it all is discipline. And add normally love to it. So if we have discipline and disciplined love, we've got a successful formula there, right? But
Totally,
wonderful,
totally
wonderful.
agree.
Yes, excellent. So you are well educated, and you've got a lovely family. and a very, very, a family, a large family, what it gives us is a lot of warmth and a support
Mm.
system.
True.
Whilst we are growing up, I also come from my grandparents were also very busy, and we too had, I mean, I too come from that sort of family, so I understand, relate to what you're saying. And then what happens? Let's continue on the story
So
then.
I come from a very local place over here, which is very Maharashtrian kind of a place, which is Dadar in Mumbai.
Yes.
And I had all the fun of watching even Sachin Tendulkar riding on his coach scooter because his coach was just bang opposite my building. So that was it, and Shivaji Park is close by. So I've literally enjoyed cricket like a gully cricket, every nook and corner, everyone is playing. And my dad, being a sports person, he also uh, taught me everything. So I am lucky to have my parents who have, like, had a balance of not just how to manage home, career, but also learn sports and networking and socializing as well. So all these things came together. The school, as usual, as routine anyone would be, I continued. Then I went ahead doing my graduation and post graduation. After that, I started my career. And so my career, I started with the Times of India earlier for a
Hmm.
short stint, and that was my first, I think, connect with the media entertainment industry a bit closely. And then I moved to, within a short span of time, I moved to a banking industry. So I started my career with Axis Bank, and Axis Bank will always be like second home, or whenever I can walk in, I can go, because there are a lot of friends I made. I met my husband in Axis Bank. So, so Axis Bank has given me a lot, which I cherish.
Literally a husband.
Literally, it has given me, literally, it has given me a lot. Okay. So I have enjoyed that. And I met Prashant, my husband, in Axis Bank. And then, of course, we got married, and my career as well as home was parallelly starting. And it was that point of time, every woman goes through that. You're just married, and you're in that age where you also want your career to continue very successfully.
Hmm.
And there is a lot of these traditional ifs and buts and societal pressures,
Matlab,
all
so,
of these
so,
things.
no, 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 no. I know those ifs and buts you're talking about. Bachcha kab karoge?
Thankfully, none of our parents asked that, okay, because they felt that, okay, these guys are like look little sorted, so they will decide on their own. So actually, yeah, that was thankfully not the pressure. But of course, my in-laws come from Rajasthan, and that is how Gupta, ideally, my surname is Patankar.
Hmm.
And to meet the family, to be with the family, it's different because you're just on your own. It's like a hostel people, or you're just like two of you and the entire house is on your own. So,
Hmm.
but yes, I was studying at that point of time, I was working at that point of time, I had aspirations to do something. And again, one of the key things that I always look out at, that when I look back, I should enjoy the journey. um, I should be able to inspire people in some or the other way, whatever smallest way it is. But yes, there should be someone who can say, okay, you have done this, and that inspires me. And that is something is very fulfilling and makes your heart happy.
Hmm.
Another thing is you want to balance your career as well as home and all the requirements, all of that. But at the same time, what happened was, while we were, on the normal track, we had a twist in the track, and
Hmm.
Prashant moved to Singapore.
Ah, okay.
Yes, so that is where then I also followed him like a following spouse. So I said, okay, fine, you go ahead. And then we started our new phase of life in Singapore, a completely different country, a completely unknown space for me, because I had worked, and you are used to your work, you're used to your desk, you're
Hmm.
used to your colleagues, and you're so much comfortable in what you're doing, and you enjoy your time. At least I enjoyed my time in my corporate life.
Hmm.
And then there the challenges begin actually when you move out of your comfort zone.
Yes, because you've lost, the set of people you fall back
Right.
on, the
Absolutely.
comfort level of the food. Suddenly the round the corner people, you've been living in a place for a while. There's so many things that are connected, and you move to a new place. Singapore is a lovely place for a holiday, but to
Yes.
live there, it's a very different ball game altogether. I mean, after a few times to Clarke Quay and Boat Key, I was like, now what do I do over here? So I've been to Singapore, lived there for a while, so I know what you're talking about.
Yes. So it takes a while. Firstly, I like never wanted to be abroad because I felt okay, I am having a good life over here. Why should I move at all? I'm like all career is set,
Hmm.
family is close by, friends are here, and I'm enjoying the way it is. But yes, that shift was, I think, a call in the life to know purpose of life, or maybe you can say to face the next challenges. Because unless you face the challenges, you wouldn't grow internally. It
Hmm.
would be just as a routine life that you would do. So there's a lot of learning that I had. So I moved over there. Um, I think I am a person who keeps, I think I'm a person who loves to read or learn something all the time. So
Hmm.
my husband also says, how much are you going to educate yourself, over and over again? Like now, now it's time for you to do something next. But I never stopped doing that. So I started my second phase of career over there. I started with integrated digital marketing and uh, a diploma in professional marketing with NUS.
Wow.
And because I felt that Southeast Asia market is completely different. Settling in Singapore, of course, you had to know a bit of Mandarin because the language is Singapore. It's very different, and you still want to get along with the locals because we were not just for a short time; we were almost there for 7 years, and it's a long time.
Wow. It's a very long time. Yeah.
Yes, but when I went over there, I went with a very positive thoughts and all, and within no time it came crashing down because I was finding it so difficult to start my career. Even at a middle level of my career, I felt that okay, I'm done well in India, and abroad it shouldn't be very difficult, right? But I think it took almost 3 to 4 years for me.
It was what I can feel is it was almost you've lost an identity, and then you're rebuilding your identity, you're
Absolutely, you have
rebuilding
to
your life.
rebuild.
So wow, wonderful. And uh, it's like so many people go through this change. So many people that I've at
Yes,
least met, they go through this transformation, and then you're finding you're experimenting a little, you're
absolutely.
exploring a little, you're in a
Yes,
new environment, and
yes.
you're then once you pick up on something, then you have to make others believe what you believe in. I
Totally
mean,
agree. The biggest challenge is making others believe what you believe in.
yes,
You are rightly saying that, you literally like pulled out
uh,
words from my mouth. It's
yeah,
like it's so tough. You go with such a confidence, but at the same time, I have also seen, like you said, that yes, you need to rebuild your identity because nobody knows, nobody believes you. Everybody has this doubt and questions. You are completely in a different country. Everyone you're meeting is trying to build something over there, and it is challenging. Like so that's the reason why I felt okay, there are some opportunities which I should look at. One was I always had interest in pageants, and second is if I have to be in marketing, then I need to do the marketing the local way. So
hmm,
what would it be? And that also allowed me to network with locals and also people from different countries, diverse backgrounds, which was like a great learning experiment for me. And that experience was extremely different to what I would say I would have gone in, last for my childhood and work and all.
hmm,
So getting out from that comfort zone and not letting yourself down first matters the most,
yes,
because you have a lot of dreams to fulfill. You want to somewhere improvise everything. You want to be financially independent, and financially independent, I would really give credit to my mom because she always says that you're educated, everything is going to fall in place, but you still need to be, you might be in a relaxed position, or maybe you are in a comfort zone, but financial independence is something which allow you to do probably
Oh,
more,
your mom
accomplish
is so bang on,
lots more. Yeah.
because that's the strength. That takes care of the self-doubt. The moment you become financially independent, you take care of a lot of things. The self-belief comes in, the no self-doubt disappears, and suddenly you are kind of rejuvenated again, when the checks start flowing in, that's when the smiles start flowing in too. So yeah, you're right.
So I had my ups and downs in
Mm,
career as well, and then I decided, if at all I have to start from scratch, let's begin now, because you really need a lot of courage to go back and get on the new canvas and restart something in a very different world. So it was difficult, uh, but it made me more resilient. It made me more, I think, appreciative towards things that are coming my way. Those challenges, I took it as a learning. Again, it's a great learning, and without those, some people do give up. It's very easy because you have a comfort life. Sometimes your husband is very kind that you say, "Okay, okay, fine, you decide if you want to work, you don't want to work, or anything." Not sometimes, all the husbands would probably say that, but it's on you. When I think, I always have compartmentalized myself as an individual, what I want to do and what I would do.
mm,
So that has kept me going. And so I did not get great opportunities as per what my expectations would be. um, I learned the local language. I tried to establish myself over there, and then I started work at a very small award winning production house, but things didn't like work that well. I thought that my potential somewhere is not getting that career move. Like, I want to move a little faster, but it's
mm.
somewhere, stagnant. So then one day I just quit and I said, I will have my own agency. And that is where the brand was born.
Ah, so that was the first seed. It was almost you were pushed, and then you said, "Hey, let me accept that risk in a way that, let me build my own identity instead somebody else, building a career path for me or something. Let me build my
Totally
own
agree.
identity." And you then embraced that wonderful word I call risk and uncertainty. And
Totally.
once we embrace that, that's the start, that's the journey. That was the entrepreneur that was born. Wonderful. So you're in Singapore, and now you've started this agency. What was this agency doing? What were you into?
So it is called as brand walk. Okay. So we were just walking towards Clarkey, and Singaporeans are very much in love with their food. Even I love the food there, and they always use this wok, and they're always like cooking nice food, and it's smelling across, and the fragrance and everything. So I said, "Ki, okay, let me name it as a brand book, which will have the right ingredients for a brand to establish its positioning." It was as simple as thought, because
What a
I am
wonderful
also a
name.
foodie.
It's a brand walk, huh? Wonderful.
Yeah. So I am also a foodie. I couldn't think of anything else but the things that makes things beautiful. Like, the work, literally you feel that, oh, it's about the, utensil. Like, even we believe in the traditional, okay, nahi copper ka use karna hai, nahi steel ka isliye use karna hai, nahi
I
kadai use karni
I
hai.
absolutely love the name. I mean, brand walk. Wonderful. All
So
right.
that is how my, company started, and I had some great relationships. So people did support me over there, and work kept coming in. Um, I think probably I will call myself lucky over there, because I was into various even community events, and I did my runways, I did pageants, and all that just allowed me to explore a lot of people from diverse background, what they were doing, what they need, where are they struggling. That was like my audience insights, I would say, if I have to put it in a marketing way. And
Rewind. Thoda sa rewind. The viewers here, you know who Aditi Gupta is. The viewers here don't know about the runway and the pageants. Can you elaborate, please?
So I am like a person, who wants to do something and enjoy also. I want to work, but I also want to be known as something who is doing for the society or community. So I used to participate in a lot of philanthropical activities, contribute towards society for anything. Like it can be as simple as for girls' education, it can be any kind of activity that they are doing. So I got associated with one of the Singapore fashion runway also, where they are doing fashion for cause, and they support all the all the underprivileged people over there by the proceeds of that particular fashion show
Wonderful.
sponsors. So it's one of the biggest shows over there, and they had just started, and I was fortunate to be a part of that. So I have done runways, I have done judging, I have done auditions, I have done short film also for them.
Wow.
So that was something which I could do in Singapore. So when I say, I had to get out of the comfort zone, and probably sometimes God is trying to bless you with multiple things and which you feel you're so resistant. So I had to let go that and then take up that risk of opening an agency. But at the same time, I had my first daughter as well, first child, and I wanted to give her some time. Did that, followed that, and then suddenly I saw that okay, there is one pageant that is happening,
Hmm.
and I participated. And pageant has been my passion since childhood. I think
Hmm.
since the time probably we have known Aishwarya and Sushmita Sen and everyone. I think that has been a passion for a lot of women and a lot of girls, young girls.
Hmm.
And I always believe that pageants teaches you a lot. Glamour aspect is just one small aspect of it.
Hmm.
Out of lakhs, maybe one person moves into the glamour industry, but the rest of them do continue with a lot of inspirational things, which maybe are not highlighted that well
Well,
even now.
it's a complete, overhaul of your personality. You work with brands, but it's your own personal brand, and that, bringing it up. I think you're taking part in those pageants and like, those competitions that would have had a significant impact on the
So
way
I'll
you
go,
shaped up.
so over here, I'll go back, like why pageants and all. Pageants has always been my dream.
Hmm.
And I had participated in one of the pageants for Miss over here in Mumbai. And unfortunately, on the day when there was a finale, and I was all geared up, I had prepared because the preparation is almost 3 to 6 months.
Hmm.
It's not just one day, and it's just not wake up and do the walking and talking and it's done. It's not like that. It's a proper coaching and transformation that happens. And on the day of the finale, I lost my dad, okay, early
Oh
morning.
my
And
God.
I think I think that was something which always had stayed in my mind. And that's the reason why I have always been attached to pageants. That is when I saw this pageant in Singapore for uh, Indian married women. That is when I think I felt now is the time for me to break that fear of being on stage or being in the pageant and all. And first I took participate I mean I did participate in Mrs. Singapore, so I was a finalist in Mrs. Singapore.
Wow.
That allowed me to meet a lot of local friends, and it
Now
was
they
an
now they
amazing
wanted
moment.
to be your friend.
and 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 I really, and it's amazing, in pageants, the kind of friends you make, you really make, you call it as a pageant sisters, but they are like lifelong. So till date, whatever network and community I have with pageants is amazing, and it's very inspiring. Some or the other people are doing some or the other things towards the society. It's not just wearing good clothes and looking nice, which makes you feel good, but yes, apart from that, the work that is driving because of them and the voice that speaks a lot. There's this platform which is pretty huge in all the countries. It's not just India, but even abroad, also pageants are treated as one platform where a woman can represent so many other accomplished women and voice out a lot of things which can support the society and community. So after that, I entered into the Mrs. India Singapore Global, and that was for expats. So it was global expat, Indian and Singapore. I won that, and after that, I think the journey completely went on a different role together, because you're treated as a celebrity. You enjoy being a part of uh, pageants. You crown someone. You can watch someone's dream coming true on stage.
Wow.
You have worked hard
What
towards
what a what
that.
a real high that would have been, right? It's
Yes,
like
it
it's
is.
like
It is.
the biggest high you can get is when you are appreciated, or I mean, imagine a whole almost, let's call it a stadium or whatever, but a whole theater applauding, you know uh,
Totally agree.
that can be, I can just imagine, because I've been the ones applauding on the other side, but I can just imagine how a person can feel, that when you do get appreciated, when you do come to the end, when you've actually, I don't say that you only need the bigger wins, but
True.
even smaller wins matter. But if
True.
you've had one, that big win, that's the moment that everybody would, crave for. Wonderful.
Right.
It's great listening to your story. I'm enjoying myself.
So I totally enjoyed that moment, I because my mom also had always dreamed for me to probably um, earn that crown, and probably she wanted to me to go back again on stage and fulfill my dream. And that dream wasn't mine anymore; it was of the entire family. Prashant supported, my friends, family, everyone supported. I think even my colleagues, ex-colleagues in
Hmm.
bank also. So it was amazing to know that when you enter at such a platform, how people come forward and really applaud for you and your efforts. And that, I think that journey was something which was, I think I was passionately looking forward to. So that is something which was one, taught me a lot, allowed me to be there. And then
Wonderful.
parallelly, my work as a marketing professional continued, but that allowed me to learn. Like I could interlink both as well, because
That would have given
marketing,
your
like you
work
said, it's
also.
personal branding, right? Like you said.
Yes. Hmm.
So there was a mix of it. There was a combination where you're writing content for yourself, you're appreciating others, you're taking yourself as a personal brand, you're positioning yourself also. So there's a lot of things that go
Hmm.
around the pageant also. And nothing is created, it just reminds you to know more about yourself.
Hmm.
You're literally digging into yourself day on and day. It's like, what were you doing in the childhood? Did you do anything? Then suddenly I realized, oh yes, I have done, I have done diploma in Bharatanatyam. I've been dancing for like 12, 13 years. Like, okay, there's something that you would cherish.
These are, Aditi, all the dots in our lives. You talked about family,
Totally.
you talked about cricket, you talked about, your mother, but these were those dots that were building your story, the connecting the dots, we say.
Yes.
And this was wonderful. I mean, your Bharatnatyam experience, I mean, your mother would have put you in there, and things like that. But they really help you, in
Yes.
whatever you achieve later on, and you don't realize when you're doing those things, but what an impact they have on your life. Lovely. So you did mention that it was only 7 years you guys stayed in Singapore, so you had to eventually, you guys move back to Mumbai, right? Is
So
that
what happened? No, no. So what happened is I continued in Singapore. I launched brand book. I worked there. Then I also got opportunity to work with Group M, which is one of the Asia's biggest media firm
Hmm.
under WPP. So I worked over there even in Singapore. So finally somebody recognized that, okay, fine, I have a company, I have a digital agency, and it takes time to find right people to offer you that opportunity. Everybody is, me and my friends would always say, everybody's ready to offer you that second chance, but nobody is ready to give you the first chance.
Hmm. Very
Okay, that
interesting.
risk nobody wants to take on you. Like you said, you have to make the other person believe what you believe in yourself, but it's so
Hmm.
difficult in real life. And after that, it was like our decision, because of course opportunities kept coming, and Prashant had to move to UK. So then we followed, and me, my daughter, and Prashant, we moved to London,
Hmm.
and we were there in London for almost 3 years, and then we moved to Mumbai. But
Okay.
again, the story continues, like again, there was like, okay, again, a different country, different
now
world.
now restart, and now
Again,
you have UK, and
now I
suddenly
have UK.
now you have to find yourself again. Or did you carry brand work with you? How did it
So I
transpire?
shut everything. I thought I have been extremely busy in Singapore. I had great friends. I had a lot of people around me. I really, really loved Singapore to the core, and I enjoyed my journey over there. And then, of course, you have to make decisions. They are the toughest decisions in your career, and you have to move. You have to take certain things in mind. And firstly and primarily, how the family would be placed, right?
Hmm.
So yes, we moved to UK, London. I had shut down everything, and then there came a point where I had to restart again. so, so then I said, okay, fine. Now what I have is I want to now just intertwine, and I just want to integrate all my passion as well as my career. So what I started was with brand book. I did not change the name at all because that, of course, continues till date.
Hmm.
And the only thing that I started first was because I enjoyed pageants, and I said I'm at a stage where I can maybe connect with local pageants and start coaching and mentoring over there now in UK while I have done in Singapore.
Wonderful. Okay.
Then I found that there is no pageant where there are Indian women participating, and
That's
maybe
surprising, actually, because the
very,
amount,
very surprising,
the diaspora sitting in England would be
huge.
second to none, actually.
It's huge.
Hmm.
Or maybe we still believe that we can't compete with the locals over there. There is still that thought process, or maybe
Or
when you are abroad, you have to accept
maybe
these things
getting
as
out
life.
of there, we don't want to be known as Indians any longer, or was it? What is it? Like, I don't know.
It's very hard to comment. People do try to participate, but see, when you participate, right, you are actually participating. It's like 99% versus that 1%. So if there are 10 people who are localized, you're the only Indian. And sometimes women do find it difficult, or sometimes, we come from a very different background. We
Hmm.
can cope up. Yes, of course, everyone has to cope up with the countries they live in, right? That's not difficult. But to be on stage and make other people in different country believe you that you can represent a nation
Hmm.
which is not India, and an Indian representing some other country, it is difficult.
True that.
Okay.
True
So
that.
that is a fact. So
So,
it's not about they don't appreciate or they don't welcome. Everything is there. But how do you resolve this issue of
it's a
representing?
no, it's also a perception of race. I didn't want to go there, but it's a perception of race.
It's
So
a bit, yes, it
I'll
is.
be very subtle about it. Like, but
We can't go there.
we
Then I
can't go
thought
there, but
maybe I should, then I thought maybe I should just kind of come up with a platform
hmm,
where I can, and trust me, it is not about the competition that I wanted to see. I wanted to see a platform where accomplished women come together and represent that beauty of womanhood or that beauty of accomplishments. So
hmm,
that is where I think within 6 months' time, I started Mrs. India UK. And it, I think it was one of the uh, it was one of the best decisions of my life that I have taken.
wow.
I wanted to, and it just fell in my lap. Okay. I just felt that probably that was the purpose of life, that I've been moved from some settled country to country and I have come over here. And
Hmm,
again, there was this new journey while I am a marketing professional and all. But suddenly I'm like, okay, let me look at pageants, let me look at runways, let me look what's happening with Indian women over here and all. And nobody knows me in that country. Okay, there are always these society groups which are already existing, and community groups which there's some admins who know everyone and all of that. So I had not done anything of that. I had not done. I'm just sitting at home in one of my corners and thinking, okay, now I want to do this because I have Googled everything, I've searched everything, and nothing is available. So let me start this platform. But there was a vision over there. It wasn't like, oh, it was fun and I'll do this and I'll do that. It was never like that. It was a call that I have consciously taken. And when you take that call consciously with your whole heart and with passion, right? I think no one else can stop you from achieving that. And that is
absolutely.
what I realized over there, that I went through absolutely weird and absolutely cruel challenges, I would say, during setting up this platform and continuing with this platform till date.
Wow.
But when I sit down and when I look at that platform and when I see women achieving what they have achieved through this platform, some will always appreciate, some will always not appreciate, but it's on you how you pick up the good things out of that and
Hmm.
how it has developed people internally as well. It has kind of given them a little bit of a reflection on themselves as well, not just amongst family members, but also out in public,
Hmm.
and probably fulfilled some of their dreams. Ki, हाँ, I have become a doctor, I am an event manager, I am, probably a fashionista, I want to be a blogger and all of that. But that moment and that kick that they have got by
Hmm.
being the celebrity and by being the voice for the Indian women over there has
You know, you
transitioned
know,
amazingly.
Wonderful. What you just said, I was recently taking a session on, and I call the science of happiness, right? And we were breaking down happiness, and we were saying it's an angel's cocktail. Consists of dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, right? Oxytocin, the
Right,
the drug of, what I call the drug of empathy and care,
right.
is all about what you just said. You know, seeing other people succeed because of a small thing you did, or whatever that gives you such a high again. That gives you happiness. That makes you feel so good and warm and fuzzy inside. And isn't that true? The what I just said, that that drug
Absolutely true.
that
And what
releases.
and what happens in this journey is like it's not just that, um, I think the most important thing is you're being honest to something that you want to create. So when they say that, it's your baby, when they say you are coming up with a business or like, your channel, you will always say, this is my baby.
Hmm.
I think the kind of attachment you have with your own child, it's equally same that the attachment you have with any business when you develop something and all. And I was very clear what my vision was. I had a story. I said ki, there might be a lot of women who need a platform. I just wanted to create a platform stronger enough to come over there and enjoy and learn the skills. So I didn't make that platform into just pageant for the sake of it. Like makeup koi bhi seekh sakta hai. Catwalk is okay. It's probably, within a week also you can pick up things. Practice is there. Yes, high heels. A lot of women came, oh, we are only on flats. And then they did the runway and on stage walked in 6 inches heels, which is very commendable. But there are these learning skills. There are these life skills. So what I did was I integrated the pageant in such a way that we also had deep coaching sessions, life skill sessions, we had acting workshops, we had
Wonderful.
understanding the photography
So
and lot of
complete
things.
complete development. I mean,
Yes,
this
yes,
is this is complete, right? Because you're not just talking about what is seen, but the inside. Not only the outside, but the inside also,
like
right? Wonderful.
simplest because they are going to be public figures. You also want them to know, understand how the public speaking would be, right?
Hmm.
So all these skills cannot be so easy, or probably sometimes people don't have an exposure or don't have a practice. When you ask them to get it done over there, that makes a very much sense on such platforms, and they do take it seriously. So some are extremely trained, and some extremely are, you know, uh, come from a background where they have some kind of an insights and how the pageants are. But there's a lot of myth around the pageants. Okay, I just have to dress well and all. I literally used to tell them that come in pajamas for my sessions. I am okay. You need to focus on the session. I wouldn't like literally see. But overall, they understand how to, pick up themselves. We had image consultants coming from India, designers coming from US, Germany, Scotland. So they get the entire understanding of how the pageant is constructed, how it transforms your own personality. And then the one thing is, you may not get the crown, but the life skills and the value that you have added to yourself is a lot.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Aditi, now we've created things. You've still held on to your UK, what you created in
Yes.
UK. You still have brand work with you. What are you doing currently?
So currently I am consulting. Currently I am acting as I'm a chartered professional marketer by the Asia Federation from Japan. And what I do is right now I consult for the BFSI industry for the marketing strategies and specifically into social and digital,
Wonderful.
which is completely essential, and it has picked up in India. I have seen that happening in Singapore and UK. They are there. And we have picked up because COVID has come as a blessing in disguise to enter us into a digital age. So
Hmm.
I do that. I help startups. I mentor startups for how to basic start your marketing strategy without any cost or anything at all, just consult for free or take sessions and support them, because I know I face a lot of challenges in my business. So also understanding how the business model can be framed, or how your profitability can be achieved, how your marketing strategy can work for you if you have product or you have service in whatever industry you are. Basics of marketing that one should know. A lot of
Wonderful.
people
Mhm.
lot of people do miss out on logos and taglines or names, or there's a lot of things that goes behind establishing a brand. It's
So
simple, right? nine
yes,
months we
so
take to name a child and actually give birth to a child, so it's exactly, even the brand takes that much time to
ah, okay. Wonderful. Never thought of it from that point of view, but but this is wonderful. You see, we've covered your story. You've discussed your challenges that you faced along the way. You've told us your passions. You've told us, what drives you and what you're doing today. Now, Aditi, while we are coming to the end of our lovely, lovely time together, I would like you to, give, you know, just three if you can. If you give one, I'll be very happy. But some, three little pieces of, you know, advice, inspiration, whatever you would want to say to the viewers who, are listening, if you have something to share.
I have lots to share, but yes, of course.
Okay, okay, then let's keep it three.
Yeah, let's keep it three now. Now it is better, like, if it's timed and if it is like told, okay, okay, there's a number attached to it. I think first, I've always believed in ignore the chaos the world is throwing at you. You will have to shut everything and just listen to your mind, heart, and soul when you are doing something important. It has worked for me. Lot of advices, lot of things, lot about your physicality, lot about your personality, lot about your education, academics, XYZ things. People keep giving you advices. People keep telling you what to wear, what not to wear, what to think, what not to think. Why is this business you are doing? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? There's
Hmm,
a lot of chaos that we are in a very world which is of noise and chaos, and I think people should learn to ignore that
wonderful. Hmm.
and just listen to your mind and heart and pursue that path which you want to really, really carve for your own fulfillment or a dream. Second, I would say is enjoy the journey, enjoy the process,
Very
and
nice.
be happy. Just be happy about what you have done, what you're done. And you're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Okay. If there is someone who is successful and he says that he's not made a mistake, then of course it's a lie. Okay, probably they are blessed. Some are blessed with the right people at the right time, but keep going. The right people will come to you, will come your way. Uh, so I feel that is something which you should always keep in mind. If there are wrong people in your life, ignore, move forward. There you will meet someday, you will meet the right people and right set of things that will happen and things will fall into your place. Third thing, the most important, like I said, that it has been established since my childhood, is a discipline.
Wow.
You must trust, believe, everything around comes only if you are really disciplined to what you do. Even if you're working, you want to start your company, you want to have a company, or you are in a you're in a career, or you're in anything, you will have to a discipline to do that with your extremely, like, probably I would say with focus, extreme focus. And if that discipline, because the most difficult part for a human is to be disciplined. Okay, and that is why we have cricketers, that is why we have sports people. They only kept playing that one thing. A batsman only keeps hitting
Mm,
the ball. That is the discipline. He comes every day, he does it every day, and they are there. That's the reason why we call Virat for Virat and Sachin for Sachin and everything. What did they do? They just had to come on field and they just had to bat. So
mm,
different balls, different challenges. but they were there, standing there with their feet and just hitting, and they were successful. So I think that is what discipline and focus teaches us. So these are the golden things for me, this experience.
Wonderful. Oh my God, you've said it so beautifully. So guys, Aditi says very wonderfully that, hey, ignore the chaos, ignore the noise out there. Be disciplined. She also said consistent, actually. Be disciplined and consistent in what you're doing.
Totally, yeah.
And the third is enjoy that journey. Enjoy those moments. Let optimism, more than the positive and everything that people talk about, it's optimism. Embrace optimism the way Aditi does, and life is beautiful. Aditi, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the Winspreneur show.
Thank you so
I
much.
hope I know it was slightly longer than what we had talked about, but then, hey, we went with the flow, and
Yes.
I hope this turned out good. Guys, whoever is watching, if you liked what you see, please do subscribe. We have a very small channel, and you'll get good karma for life. And please do subscribe. And that being said, a lovely Saturday here. The weather is nice. Aditi, thank you so much for joining and
My
being
pleasure.
part of this small show. I wish you loads of success. I wish the pageant you have, the brand walk you have, and the BFSI segment you cater to. I wish you success in everything you do in
Thank you
life.
so much. Wish you
To
the same, Gaurav. It's fabulous knowing you. I have watched your channel. I have watched some of the series, the episodes that you have uploaded. Of course, I would really thank you for me being on this platform. It's extreme pleasure. It's amazing to be here, and I hope you keep capturing such beautiful stories which inspire people and give them motivation to do something.
Yes, when I started and, when we were doing this, it was also a learning process for us. But now it's all about optimism. It's all about wonderful stories and wonderful people. And that's what we want to be inspired from and learn from. And people like you, Aditi. So you do well, and I'll see you when I see you. Thanks everybody for watching, and do well
Thank you
in
so
life.
much. Thank you
All
so much.
right.
Thanks a lot.